Hi viewers, welcome back. My name is Adeola Fayehun, and thanks for joining us as we give you live update of the 2015 presidential elections. Right now we have the opportunity to speak with the presidential candidate of the KOWA party, who's actually the only female candidate in this race. I'm talking about Professor REMI SONAIYA. Professor SONAIYA, welcome to Sahara TV.
Thank you very much.
Great. So first of all, let me ask you, how has the race been so far? Has it been all that you think, or that you thought it would be? And also, how have you been received as the only female candidate?
The race has been wonderful. It's been a great experience for me personally to have had this opportunity to compete for the highest position in the land. I would even go as far as saying it has exceeded all my expectations, because I knew that the odds were really, really stacked high against me going in. I mean, you know, a lot of people were like, what's she thinking about? Who does she think she is? Seeking to compete with the big giants, you know. But it has gone very well. I have been able to do as much as my means allowed me to do, and I'm very happy with that. And I would say on the whole, I've been well received. Certainly there were people who felt, oh, what does she think? Does she think this is a joke or something like that? You know, let her go back to her classroom and so on. But in general, people were very warm, people were very encouraging. And I even think that there is a new interest among Nigerians now to see more women go into elective positions.
I see that you're already touching on it a little bit, but do you think that there's a difference between the way you have been received as a woman compared to how other candidates that are men have been received?
I do not think it's that different, really. For instance, people were expecting that I would be dishing out money to them, too, just like all the other male presidential candidates. I expected, you know, to give money to people as they go around campaigning. So that is one negative expectation, I think, that cuts across everybody, whether you are male or female.
I see. Okay, so I want to ask you a very important question that we've all been thinking about. So far, we have not been able to rescue the girls, and I am wondering, are you disappointed with that? And if you should win this race, what will you do to bring back our girls?
Yeah, it's rather disappointing, not only on a personal level, of course, you know, but for the whole nation. For these girls to have been away for almost a year now, it's really sad and almost a blight, I would say, on our, you know, international reputation. During the presidential elections, the presidential debates that we had in Abuja last Sunday, I expressed the hope that the current successes being recorded by our military against Boko Haram would lead to the rescuing of the Chibok girls. And for me, that would be the really the real crowning glory, as it were, of this onslaught against Boko Haram. And what I will do, I hope that when one gets into that position, you would have a lot more information available to you, so that you will be able to take more, how would I say, better informed decisions. It's not easy standing out with very, very little information, honestly, because one does not know the whole truth of what we are being told of the information that is trickling out to the public. But hopefully, the commander-in-chief would have a better information, a better knowledge of what's actually happening. And I trust that, given that situation, one would be able to take a well-informed decision. However, I had mentioned also during various interviews that if a standing force like we had ECOMOG during the Liberian War, and so if a standing force like that would be needed to combat Boko Haram in the sub-region, why not?
I see.
Why not?
Also, let me ask you, though, if for any reason, I know that you are optimistic that you will win this election, but if for any reason you do not win this election, are you prepared to work in the cabinet with whoever wins this election?
That would be rather difficult. What I see myself doing after the elections is to really devote some time to building up KOWA Party as a really viable alternative to the parties that we have currently, the main parties that we have currently in Nigeria, which a lot of people do not find quite satisfactory, to be honest with you. People have often talked about the lack of clear ideology, and we have seen a lot of shifting, running back and forth between members of both the PDP and
so you would rather focus on KOWA, you don't see yourself working with whoever
I would
wins.
like to focus on KOWA, because, working with people maybe whose ideology you do not quite agree with people, people talk about, okay, you are not just going to be working with the central figure, the head of state. There are a lot of people surrounding him and things like that. So it might be difficult to really function as you would like to. Constantly hitting your head against, against the wall.
Okay, so we also, we know that you've had a meeting with Professor Wazir Soyinka. Is that something that you're willing to share with us?
I wanted to see Professor Wazir Soyinka, present to him my books. I have 3 books that I've written on the Nigerian and African situation. I knew he would be interested in reading them. So I wanted to present them for him. And I also wanted to thank him. It was a symbolic gesture. I had been thinking of it for a long time, to thank him for all the trouble that he had been through on account of Nigeria, for the personal sacrifices that he has made on behalf of our country, and that was what I wanted to do.
Okay, great. My last question for you, though. A lot of Nigerian women are wondering, if you should win this election, what would change for us? Do you have any plans in terms of mortality rate, infant mortality rate? What should Nigerian women expect to change for them if you should win this election?
Oh, a lot. I mean, that would mean that a woman's perspective, a woman's concerns will be right there on the table when decisions are being taken, when, policies are being made. I have talked about that in several of my interviews. We need a lot of legislation to protect the interests and well-being of women. Africa. Many Nigerians in some of our in some regions of the country, women can still not buy land. That is not acceptable.
So if you should win, women will be able to buy land?
I will look to encouraging the passage of legislation that will deal with such issues: buying land, widowhood practices, protecting women from, almost being immediately treated like witches once their husband dies. from the family of the husband rushing to either throw the woman out, take all the belongings in the family, claiming that it is their son's belonging, and so on and so forth. Women's health issues, you know, so there are a lot of issues, pregnancy, during childbirth, and a lot.
I see.
You know, so all of that will have to come to the fore.
I see. Professor Sonaiya, thank you so much again for joining us. We wish you good luck in this election.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Viewers, stay tuned. Right now, we will be taking phone calls from you guys to hear about your experience so far. If you're able to vote, let us know what your experience has been. And if you're not able to vote, we want to know your expectations of this election. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.